quoting shady, but that's how I feel when I recite poetry. And my joints might be heavy from carrying a belly, weight. As you can see, I carry a pen. Public speaking gives me anxiety, and that's why I feel so much envy when I see someone express their eloquence. So I know I've got better bars than Lil Woodzy Vert, but I struggle to externalize my inner introvert. And even in work presentations, I can't stop stuttering and I have to raise my voice, so I'm no longer just muttering, so I can be heard more than just a smattering. My God, it's so effing frustrating. See, I think it's swear. You see, one-to-one I think I'm alright, but talk to a whole crowd and it's more fight or flight. Because when your thoughts are in a cage, it's easy to become enraged. You talk and people become disengaged. To one day I decide to get on the stage and say something people can actually relate. And right now, I feel elated. Right now, I no longer feel deflated because I can talk to a whole crowd and no longer feel deflated. I've messed up those bars, don't worry. This is what happens when you get on stage. You always mess up. So it's you in the crowd. Yeah, I'm talking to you. As we listened to poetry for the last 3 years, it sometimes left me in tears, sometimes left me in despair, but always left me, and I've messed up the lines again.
You got it, you got this. Say it again.
So it's you in the crowd. Yeah, I'm talking to you. As we listened to poetry for the last 3 years, it sometimes left me in tears, but always left me in despair. If I had something to say what people want to hear, you see, I still hate public speaking, but for you, tonight, at Box Back Croydon, for the first time, I'll confront my biggest fear. Thank you very much. Woodzy, come to the stage.
Say the thing!
BYOB, how we doing? We good? When I say bring your, you say on bars. Bring your. On bars. Bring your. On bars. One more time. When I say bring your, you say on bars. Bring your. On bars. Bring your. On bars. All right. This is history. This is our first time in Croydon Box Park. Make some noise for Croydon Box Park. Amazing. So as being a host as well, I also do poetry. I'm not going to give you a poem straight away. We're going to bring on our open micers to start off with. And the first guy coming up, he's been to a lot of the BYOBs. He actually posts all about them and does vlogs about them as well. So make sure you check out his channel. So bring on the one, the only, the Metaphorest!
Do it, Woodzy, because I know he won't do it himself, but like he just dropped a video on Link Up TV.
Oh,
go give him the views, go give him the likes, comment on his video. Got some legends on that as well. Poetry at its finest.
Oh, it's hard.
Jeez. Hey, so this is one of the first poems I shared online. So here it goes. It's called Horse and Sheep. You may think that you be better. Well, I read and I see better. You see cheddar, I see metal. You see glyphs, I see letters. You see sentence and I see words. Sorry, you see words, I see weapons. You see spoken words, I see techers. You're playing chess, but I'm fine playing checkers. I'll become king at the end. You see, these poets are veterans. They're writing per chance. Pen chant for pen in chance, the fairness of circumstance. You see, this is the Metaphorest. I plant seeds that grow plantlings, that grow pages of leaves that become poetries.
Say it again!
Rewind. Jeez. Okay, cool. I plant seeds that grow plantlings, that grow pages of leaves that become poetries. Plant enough of these, you produce enough poetries, creating columns of libraries that form a metaphorest. Poetry that goes overhead like canopies and go deep like volumes of valleys. The metaphorist defy no logic. This novelist traps novices in notebooks of oranges and segments behind enemy lines. In sections, I spit phlegm, no lozenges out of every pore, every orifice. Words undergo metamorphosis. The whole conceit is what a metaphor is, not quantum physics. This is quantum lyrics. Evoke the meta spirits when you hear this. Metaphysically, spiritually, I'm a renegade and retrograde. I'm a Aries, so I'm a ram anyway. I'm fire too, so I'm in my own element. Among regiments, I build my resistance to artificial intelligence. Everyone wants to be the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Take this from my throat, I'm barred from the bar exam for passing out notes. I don't mind being a sheep. My bar black and I roll with Bo Peep who rolls with E3 Bo Peeps. When sheep speak, it's called barring. Bar, I'm a black sheep. I ain't got any wool, but I got many tools. I wanna rob you, I want 3 bags full. I'm the undergo. They underestimate me. They say I don't count, but I put them to sleep. I'm slept on, so there's a wolf in the sheep. But if you cry wolf, others won't believe. I'm done dances with wolves. I smoke pipes with the chiefs. No wonder why they ask me how. I bar bow and arrows across their bows, through their dream catchers, to take the silver from their 9 clouds and the spoon out of their mouths. My heart of gold, no wonder why it weigh heavy. I mine gold, my mind cold. No wonder why writer's block seems like my mind froze. It bears fruit, I pick cherries, I cherry pick cherry bombs. These bombs will have you buried. Why do I have to be blunt to get to the point? Well, why are there 2 sides to a coin? Read between the lines in the poem. The depth is the words that we own. Once they are shown, they are no longer your own. They dissipate in people's toes. In minds and hearts they are sown. Roses in concrete? No. Prose that is so deep, their auras chose to leave. They astral project to the land where foes weep. I am one of those sheep.
Come on.
It might need a bit of audience participation. So when I say only, you guys say you. Yeah, we do a practice round. Only.
You.
Only.
You.
Yes, already. Only.
You.
Can sweeten my kiss from your lozy. Woo! Alright, let's reloop.
I was gonna say that.
Reload.
Only.
You.
Only.
You.
Only.
You.
Can sweeten my lips from your rosy kisses. Tied in my clit, hardening my titties. Bite my lip. Lift me up and then flip. Arouse my mind into a June 69. Flatten my tummy. Making my bum spring as only
You.
Come on, guys. Tap it gently. Spinning my mind round as if on a merry-go-ferry. Only
You.
can turn me round. Can turn my ass and hammer it down. Squeeze me in close whilst my tongue gracefully rolls down your throat. As we were no entry to this fiesta, J.A.M.E.L. Only can show up to this fiesta. Only can taste my body sweat. Sweet legs get sweat. Only can go all the way down and inside of me. And don't stop until you hear my soft voice go squeak. Only can make my clean beds and sheets unneat. Only can feel my pulse as we ride all night. Kissing me up and down slowly until I fall asleep on your side. Exchange of breaths as we caress. Your hands grip tightly on my tender breasts. Too petite. Let's take our time as we get slick. Rub my against your hardened.
Saucy.
Only can rub against my hardened. Only can make me feel comfy. Make me feel warm as our energies unite until you make me feel reborn. Only. Oh, wait. First things first. Let's take our time as we drown whilst we're in the shower. Evaporating steam, misty windows, condensation. The water spritz arouses my cognition. Hair dripping, pistol popping, there's no stopping. Only know what to do. Make this experience last longer than an hour. Take a 2-second break till our irresistible auras gather, making us safe bucket. Let's go at this twice harder. Only have the right to remain confident. As anything you say is far from a criminal offense. I found proof of your innocence in your sticky toffee pudding. So only can scrub up dessert well, leave me no choice but to have seconds, maybe come back for thirds, as no one gets piped down like you do in the kitchen. Only make my appetite so full that I'm in no hurry to leave anytime soon. Until I fully digested all of this food, leaving me stuffed and bloated and full, because only are more than enough. Only are more than enough. In fact, these words don't even do you justice too tough, because only yes, only Thank you.
So this one is titled
norondo yakapendwa nehondo. Literal translation. It's titled Norondo yakapendwa nehondo. It means history painted by war. In Shona, I'm Zimbabwean. So yeah. Takatadza kuchengeta zvinokosha kwatiri. I don't partake in a race to overtake, switching lanes to overtake. Sorry, hold on.
You got this, bro. You got this.
I don't partake in a race to overtake, switching lanes that evoke a response that spoke about laws that break, protecting emotions that are raw from the core. Haunted. They chose to look God's creation behind bars, sugarcoated by legislation that slayed nations. Haunted. We are sharks. Shackled, shaku on retold stories they wrote. Grounded. Cemented on an ocean of flaws that floor us in the penitentiary of our ancestors' cemetery. Controlled. It's cold. His Tory. They are Tories keeping us in lane, broken down on the hard shoulder. That's it, yeah. Controlled, it's cold. His Tory, they are Tories keeping us in lane, broken down on the hard shoulder. We are evolving, adapting, and adopting, hoping to recover. Let me explain how upenyu wangu ingi epeni yangu ilikunyora carving my heart. Let me in with my melanin. I said, let me in with my melanin. Melting melodies. Let me in with my melanin. Melting melodies, melting metals of murders, masking emotions. Melody melodies of murders, masking emotions, mounting meteors that collide with a comment of common lacking common sense. A portion of my portions of portent, with the intent to transcend patience, lacking the patience to search and research the placebo of egos prescribed by the media. Burying us alive has become a lot easier. Feeling 6 foot under 6 figures. Too deep to see that we're waving our wallet, wilding, calling A&E on our currency. Recently, I ate history that birthed hate. Transforming hate to fate as I broke the loop. Building an empire on my mental state. This is London. Concrete jungle where indigenous tongues are preyed on, and I pray like the moon and the stars in the skies I'll be here, and I pray like the shadow that's by your side I'll be here, allowing me to paint my words kuti depende norondo ya wakataza kutitisa. Thank you.
It was a bit you did in there, and it was with all the alliteration. So I'm going to do part of a poem of mine, which is alliteration, because I love alliteration so much. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but you're doing it with the letter M, so I'm going to go from M. Mermaids manipulate a man's memory, masterfully. Made more muggles misplace magic than Merlin merging memories in his masterpiece. The 90s, nostalgia. Neverland and Nickelodeon. Not now, not never. Nearby nerves negatively neglect nerves. Nevertheless, newcomers are normally lumped to the numerous nurturing nature of nutrition. Oh, okay. Outstanding observation. Object obligation. Obsessive omens obey only one. Opposites offer other opportunities. Orbit the earth. Orchestrate my offspring to the orchards of Oxford. Plant your palms and plants in the past. Proceed the process to progress and past possession. Misplaced possession possesses a person's passion. Personally, I prefer perfection personified, but I perfected procrastination so perfectly, but still painting and perform my paradise. Paralyzed parasites are parallel patterns to a panther's pride. I practice my precise precision and my pen on the pad. There's peace in my path. I paint with the ultimate pen. My penultimate poem will plead people to play peacefully, play Pokemon and pick paragraphs that piece together peachily. Quiet. Don't quit. Quench the Queen's first. Q4, quick Quidditch. Q4, quick Quidditch.
Come on, bro. You can do it.
I haven't done this poem in so long. Q4, quick Quidditch. There is quality and quantity in my quill. Quadrilateral rectangular revenues revisit the reservoir. Real recognize real. Reading is relaxing. Recording records for radio. Remember Team Rocket? Represent the revolution. I have the secret sauce supplied by SpongeBob SquarePants. Short shorty in shorts acting shirty. I sadly suffer severe suffering succotash. I stole the Silver Surfer's surfboard. Search for the solar system's first source. Succeeded somewhere in Surrey in summer 16. Sweet and sour serenity. Surrendering senselessly. I put the sensei in sensational. Say the things we say them all. Trust your thoughts. Treat your teachers. Trick your teasers. Tread on the toes of the top trenders. The tender touch of your temple translates into telepathic thunder. Under umbrellas, you're unfit to understand the underworld. Unique unicorns are unusually unaware of the unusual unawareness of the universe. Various vibrations vanish in the vault. Vultures violate violins violently. I venture to the vast valleys and vessels of the verb. They will view my vigorous verses of victory. On the verge of being verified. Wasting wishes on a wishing well when I wish I could have wished you well. Walk on water. Withdraw wisdom. Wizards of Waverly Place was wicked. Wicked witch of the West was worried when wet. Who, where, why, when and what? X marks the spot. In Roman times, your ex would have been a 10. You broke up last Xmas. You don't want to think about those times. No more hugs, no more kisses, because your ex was an O. You yelled, yes, young'un. Yelp, you are yesterday's youth. You yo-yoed from Yu-Gi-Oh to the yellow pages. I am the zigzag of Zelda, lifting the Z-sword, mixed with Emperor Zerg, Zinedine Zidane, and a Zapdos is zest. Can someone please tell I.Am.Shaheed that my pen is broken and I need a rest? Thank you.
It's short. The moment I finally got it, the battle with the sun, the complexity. This was it. This was life.
This one is called Downside to Astrology. I have lost myself in the maze of astrology. The celestial pseudoscience shit stating that my autonomy is somewhat defined by the timing of things not quite terrestrial. These stars, startling my structured sense of self, both ignite a fire and at the same time burn me with it. Because I feel a connection that inspires reflection, even if on some days that means an infected selection of dejected memories. Objectively, I'm doing just fine. But subjectively, I'm flying further from finding out what it all means. As my sun meets its moon or whatever, as the stars align, I still find days where the day is nothing. If my stars are so bright and align, why do they choose to align themselves on the bedroom ceiling? If my sun is in its perfect position or whatever, then why do I find it impossible to open the curtains to see it? I love to think about it. I love to study the universe and get into conversations where life is not so black and white, but as colours not yet found, and orbs of energy between people. But my feeble, fractured mind loves to wind me up. Because there is something about believing in something more that stabs the chest and slices the core when you cannot even see something, anything, let alone anything more. When the door is closed and the lights are off and you are staring into darkness, both the absence of light and the absence of joy, and you toy with the idea that maybe you are not meant to be here, but with your withering, wondrous mind you imagine a different time, a different place, a different universe, but perhaps not here. The curse of a cursory state of impatience, and now you have to straighten your sight, improve your perception, move away from the deception of the day's imperfection and focus, again, on why you love everything the sky hides. And there it is. So very slowly, you breathe, deep. You feel underneath your chest that beating heart, that work of art that forms a part of something bigger, that trigger to trick your brain into fighting the pain. You start to see that you were always meant to be. You seize that semblance of something and call it everything. You please yourself with the reminder that you do not believe in simplicity or in the world as it was told. You believe in the power of trees and in the innate beauty of bees and the things that seem so small but are the greatest, most significant elements to our evident existence. And if everything small can be great, then even when you feel small, you are still great.
It's pretty chill in here, but I think the vibes up here gonna keep me warm enough. Do you all agree?
Yeah.
Alright. Let me open it up. Oh, 1 second, you have to go out. Alright, so I have 2 poems. I think I'll get through them pretty quick, so if I don't have time, dash me off, obviously. So, the first one is called The Vanishing Place. Okay, so, flowing through the air, not to be confused with permanence. She takes form, unique each time, and I am here, dependent on home's nurturance. Taking form in my country's music and food, tightly wrapped in the imperceivable air of their presence. Hiding in plain sight behind the pages I wear over and over with my touch. Singing to me in the songs that take me elsewhere. Within every year of joy, in these very words and every word I write from passion, there she patiently resides and appears. Fluttering moments over years, not to be predicted, contained, called up, locked up or tied, to reside second by second at our side. She is home, unreachable no matter how far we reach. But in that sense, isn't she all the more special, coming to us at her luxury? I believe I am then satisfied in knowing that she is perfect for me, my vanishing place. The second one's a little bit, it's called Colour in Your Lines. What am I? In the eyes of onlookers, she looks like she gives good hugs. My roles and bounteous earth, a cushion for those much more perfect, way less genuine. Why can't I be the, you're beautiful, without the, I wish I was this confident? Pitied, ignored, revolting, someone to be sympathized with. The scales never tip in my favor. Perhaps if I tip the scales, then they will be tripped too. So I let my belly rumble, learn to endure the empty, clawing feeling. I have control over this. I can decide who I am. I do have control. Until the mirror bends and contorts my image, irons out the smooth marks, stretches out the acute spaces, coos into my ear that shall never let me know who I am. What I am. Colour in your lines, they now say. Fill out my angles. Yes, I asked for genuineness, but I didn't want it like this, in overcrowded white rooms with unforgiving lights, as if I'm a toad on a slab, with pity and sympathy on their face. Did I not trick the scales? Maybe I was foolish to think so. Scales never tip in your favour.
Once I lay my head to rest upon the lap of a man with whom I was obsessed. Intoxicated by our love, I had fought through family pressures and tests. I had found the intersection between East and West. Within the confines of our love, our relationship, a sanctuary of freedom. But in a quick swerve of your brush, you destroyed all that which was sacred. Broken was the tapestry I so delicately weaved. Shining before my eyes is the reality that I have been deceived. Unspeakable truths I cannot conceive. Misfortune handed to me by fate, gratefully received. The portrait is tarnished, no longer will it be perceived as perfect, without fault, incapable of harm. I'm in the process of grieving our love, our life, the person I spent months believing to be true, to be you. The portrait I patiently prepared is perishing, perishing under the waves. If only I knew what lurked behind oceans of blue. The smile you flashed me, convincing me I belong to you. If only I knew what hid behind oceans of blue. Powerful words of commitment and intent, only to find myself in this familiar space once again, where my insides coil, my heart weeps songs of lament. Where my insides coil, my heart weeps songs of lament, and I allow my eyes to express my inner world screams with consent. Salt water meanders gently towards my chin, where it tumbles over like your washing line of sin. A predictable pattern of paths you pass and find yourself in, a peculiar predicament, no pause for thought to allow a change in your wiring to begin. I let your every word soak into my skin, breathe life into my lungs, fill my heart to the brim, until I saw you, as if for the first time, a stranger, swimming in sin, drowning beneath the waves, slippery self-esteem worn thin, modern day Dorian Gray, yielding to temptation. I lived my fairy tale wedding day, a sacred occasion. But these memories I must now relinquish, for the portrait is indeed tarnished, and under waves of his design he perished. Along with our love finished, the memories I once cherished, laying my head to rest upon the lap of the man with whom I was obsessed. A new portrait will be crafted, self-love and nothing less.
You know, it's kind of funny being here because I've fallen apart so many times. Deriving from the cracks of these impacts the power of penning myself back together again. Golden lines bonding beauty in between the fragments. Formed and reborn along the path from floor to stratosphere. Don't always see clear, but these words appear like stars shimmering in night sky. Unplanned, unintended, but somehow knowingly entwined. Universal winds chime. Within the welcome arms of rhyme I find wings. Souls sing into the ether. That space where art shapes creativity is my keeper. Connections, a woven plethora of spirits humming in resonance. Acceptance, universal verses flowing individual personal cursives. We are the multiverse. Think on that. Place pen to pad and permeate each page of your day in poetry and rhyme. Scribing lines like lightning in the darkness. Navigating our ways through time. Fusing creativity with life. Thank you very much. So I got one more in like that here. So I was actually well nervous about coming back, and I spoke to a friend of mine, and she told me to think of it as going home. So I'm dedicating this to Lucretia Celine. If you know her, you know. If you don't, you should find out. And this is called Going Home. It's been a while since we've spoken, and I can't speak for you, but I'll admit to feeling a chill as I'm approaching this moment. Not frozen, more like thawing. Kinda lost my way a bit, but heard you calling, and I'm falling forwards as I'm leveling up. Standing here is an act of love. Smiling whilst climbing above previous pitfalls. Not so devious anymore. Hindsight loves to teach lessons on ritual. And there's still plenty of cycles to be broken. But knowing is something as long as you know that all you know is nothing. Ain't that something? And between that opening and the dark places can be found salvation. Elevating out of tar pit places and taking a damn good shower. It's been a mighty number of hours, but I'm finding power with each pace that places me forward. I guess it's been so long I started to see you as a stranger. Allowing the danger of dark thoughts as they play out scripts that rip at the warmth you helped create. Each strip it takes makes hesitation to hold hard, but a very good friend of mine set me straight. And in just a few words, they told me to look at seeing you as though I was going home. And I am. Thank you.
Real quick. So my mom, she called me, named me J.A.M.E.L. That's my name, so feel free. If you ever see me, call me J.A.M.E.L. Don't call me just J.A.M.E.L. I'm joking. Yeah, so basically, J.A., that's the M.A.M.E., sorry. Man expressing L, love, J.A.M.E.L. You get it? The acronym? Yeah. Alright. So, now that you know a little bit about me, kind of know a little bit about you. So, how many of you guys like comic books? DC?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, a few hands. I see like a couple like men put their hand up. It's interesting because sometimes like I think I'm a superhero, you know. Guess I'm addicted to saving. But you're in no need of male to speak of. You are simply just.
Say it again.
You are in no need of male to speak of. You are simply just amazing. I respect your gangster so much, I'll put down my cape for you. Humble myself enough to even wait on you, cause you should be waited on. Pampered with gems laid upon your altar. No idolatry, occasionally I falter. Cause you're like a goddess to me. There has gotten to be some sort of line drawn in between adoration and worship. Cause both, you deserve it. You're perfect. In fact, I wanna swim in an ocean of your devotion, and after I rise to the surface, ride the wave of your love if you'll allow me to surf it. But I'm sinking, I'm drowning, at the bottom of your ocean floor. You know, they say a friend being a ship is actually the perfect metaphor. Or if we crash in the Atlantic into a gigantic ocean like the Titanic, will we incur 1,000 deaths? If your heart's really expansive, full of knowledge and mystery, tell me please, will I ever be able to mine its dreamy depths? No disrespect, I don't intend to skip any steps on this descent to the bottom. It's just that I don't like going all in, free falling into the dreary dark with no oxygen, so I stop. Is that fear of failure or fear of dying whilst we plunge, whilst we drop into an abyss? This was exhilarating and both terrifying. I'm just glad, as deep as it got, pardon my French, but we didn't lose ourselves. You and I still exist as we resist the residual rise to the top of your majestic ocean floor. Grasping for nets, grasping to see what happens next, gasping for breath, needing, pleading, burning, yearning for more opportunities to explore your grand and unknowable ocean floor. Thank you.
Spark that. Live ammo, armed cartridge, warlord, lord of war behind the darkest. Trigger finger carnage unharnessed, picture this, a bright future in the darkness. While I and I recoup the fruits of seeds planted, taking pride in each and every carcass that's harvested. The real killer is hatred where the heart is. I'm the real you, there's no way to mask it. An everyday apocalypse, non-stop it's the constant, continual conflict of opposites. I'm all of this. I'm all you could wish, from a smacked wrist to a balled up fist with a hatchet that cuts clarets, smiles from ear to ear, solid metal gear. Still don't get the point? When I can't take them type of penetration, metal empty vessel, life and death wrestle, lick shot, limbs catchy, bones break into fragments, rival forces clashing, I and I happen as an adrenal rush, battle plan stratagem, Nagasaki anarchy, splattering atoms, it's on. No half-stepping, Armageddon obsession, mass murder matters make me live never ending. By way of blood red, bloodshed, death beckons retaliation, never duped into a truce. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Them type of knowledge only good as their usage. The truth is, I'm neither devilish nor angelic. The truth is, peace is always far off and I'm ever present. The truth is, love thy neighbor. Nah, forget it. You think I give a damn? You make the earth how hell is? From sea to sea and shore to shore, I'm everybody's irritating brethren. I'm W-A-R. Peace.
And this one's called My Pen. My pen started for other people, but now I point it inwards for clarity. My pen hates a government so lethal, but I also use it to keep at bay insanity. My pen lives when it bleeds, my pen is lethal. And it closes my wounds, my pen is my remedy. My pen never forgets, I use it for retrieval. My pen exposes my truths and my pen's sincerity.
You tell me that all poems are political, that all poems can declare war, that all poems cover themselves in camouflage, that all poems know how to load a gun, that all poems know how to shoot a gun, that all poems know how to swing a sword or an axe, that all poems can roughly patch a wound, that all poems know how to be captured. You tell me that all poems are good prisoners, that they know how to read and speak, they know how to live in camps and in cells, that all poems are good prisoners of war, that all poems work as abbreviations of hearts, that all poems can be rescued. You tell me that all poems can be free. They can be free to be at war. They can be free to be non-political. Tell me, do you really believe this? Thank you.
Hi guys. Hey. How many writers in here?
Yeah.
How many of you ever go through that thing of doubting your pen or your... Amazing. So I wrote this so that every time I doubted, every time I doubted my pen, I could recite this poem to myself just to remember what it does. It's called Affirmations for My Pen. A writer's pen is a weapon. It should never be formed against oneself, but trust me, It shall. Used well, it is a well of well filled with water from the purest source. A force. My pen is law. A stream of raw truth and self-expression. My pen gives me lessons. My pen is a teacher whose words are sometimes only deep in hindsight. Reading back through past rhymes, I travel time and push past lives aside, jumping into my future. My pen is benevolent. My pen could never be broken. My vibranium quills are dipped in immortal ink that spills truth so real that if you're lying to yourself, you will get caught in feels. My pen always keeps it real. My pen is a wand so strong that only the gifted could wield its power into such carefully crafted lines. I scribe magical rhymes sublime. I beam channels of light into minds. My pen is not always kind, but it always respects me. My pen is a king with an amethyst crown. Together we travel within and without. My pen has never let me down. My pen is a healer. Given a blank page, it finds a safe space to channel rage and express pain, to explore time and space, love, inner knowing and faith. A blank page is a place of no shame. Somewhere you can go to process emotion in silence, a place that you can meditate. Say what you have to say without having to defend or explain. Not everything is for the stage. Some stays between you, your pen, and those pages. My pen spills spells on sheets. My pen eats metaphors and similes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. My pen is always hungry. My pen loves what I deliver. If my ink is a drug, then I guess my pen is a dealer. My pen draws cards that win me chips. My ink is rich. I split that, double it, flip that, treble it. Damn, that's a lot of chips. My pen is the shit. My pen is a killer. My pen is a reaper. My pen slays heathens and demons. My pen is my keeper. Together we ride through the elements. My pen can handle any enemy in any season. My pen knows the trenches and the tenements. My pen is a sword by which I live and die. My pen is my honor. My pen is my rhyme. My pen is my reason. My pen is the keeper of untold secrets. My pen is the fountain of wisdom. When you deep it, my pen streams a synchronized sequence of memories and thoughts. My pen is 1111, 22, 33, and 444. My pen is a master, a sensei, a samurai, a mentor. My pen is never less. My pen always gives me more. My pen is loyal and consistent. It never keeps me waiting or second guessing. If I give my pen my time, it always showers me with blessings. My pen keeps me connected to myself in my purest form. My pen never settles. My pen does not conform. My pen weathers storms, fireproof in the ashes. My pen is a phoenix. My pen is reborn. My pen is mighty. My pen is resilient. My pen is magnificent. My pen is transformed. Thank you very much.
And it's shaking. Right. Water diamonds dissolve the chandelier which holds them. Only now are the windows weeping. Only now do carpet things come creeping over the sill like lemon lemmings. I keep an empty doors open, but nothing's very angry, or even very empty. The wardrobe is full of ice and sand. It's very heavy in the winter and sinks through the carpet in the summer, emancipating the dancers who fill their eyeballs with snakes and their bottles with lead. Can't be very dead to fill their bottles up with lead, or should I stay in bed instead in bed? 4-inch hoovers cover the carpet, and only now do carpet things come creeping over the sills of the weeping windows. The hooves of the hoovers are screaming for the emancipation of the dancers from things that are not very far away and moving what is more or less a living thing. Characters in dreams come scraping, and only now holding their tongues and biting into lemons soaked in rubber solution and into the paper's so hard. The morning's astronauts climbed over the sill and into a large swimming pool or a large submarine or an empty room with the door open, but nothing is very angry or very empty. Or at least it seemed that way, 4 million headstrong and the winds of collusion. 4 million headstrong and the winds of collusion. 4 million headstrong and the winds of collusion. Do you realise what I'm writing? Stop your eyes, this might be frightening. Ever stop to think just why I'm doing this? Is this like washing in a garden sink? Would you like to know if this is crap or piss? Take. Do you know what these words mean? A garden hoe on a page, onomatopoeia sings. Would you let anyone infiltrate your mind? A slug's signature trail is hard to find. Your brain is in a pail. I'm spelling these words in a certain way. Have you noticed how it's done? Stop. Listen. Don't be caught on the hop. Wash your mind in soda pop. You are reading communist propaganda. Why didn't you stop to wonder what it was before you picked it up? Do you eat things from off of other people's plates in cafes? Hiroshima, Hiroshima, shh, I'm a hero. But there are no heroes. Get that out of your head. Scream dynamite. There are no heroes. There are no heroes. Only people living together, off the land, on the land, in and around, doing their own thing, getting their act together, living and dying. And it ain't that bad. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's not the actual process of death I'm complaining about. Isn't as if death wasn't beautiful when it's on the land. Shit no. But that's a far cry, far right from what they did at Hiroshima, was scrape blue beat ribbons off an old tin wall. They fucking screwed dynamite under people's skin. They blew shit. They blew woo shit, the bastards.
Alright, first of all, just to let you lot know, I haven't performed. This is my first time performing since the beginning of lockdown. This poem is quite dark, and this poem is based on a few things I went through in my teenhood. This poem is called Hood Teen Story Part 1. Jeez. Don't judge a book by its cover, that's what these people say. Or welcome to reality where people do it anyway. See, human beings always want to what? One sec, hold on.
It's got Take your time. You got it.
Alright. Yeah, don't judge a book by its cover. That's what these people say. Or welcome to reality where people do it anyway. Human beings always wanting what we couldn't have. To realize that we lost what was in our hands. I grew up a screw up, never in a Benz. Lack of confidence was irrelevant. Shit was getting tense in my environment. Surrounded by violence. Raised in Dagenham wasn't love. By the shit from mouth ends. I saw a part of her none of my peers could ever see. This is my therapy, knowing she won't remember me. I visualize one day we have a happy ever after. Holes around the city, all the flowers getting gardened. I told my braids, but they couldn't see the picture. You can't cheat architecture just to paint the perfect picture. Yeah. I visualize one day we have a happy ever after. Holes around the city, all the flowers getting garden. I told my braids, but they couldn't see the picture. You can't cheat architecture just to paint the perfect picture. One day we bumped into each other near my drum. I take a bullet for her when my friends are moving as the gun. Listen. So we walked around the block and tried to know her better. The type to judge me for my character, I'll never let her. She kept it real and said her guy always abused her and her father wasn't there, so we related it for right together. I'm hoping, can I take this girl from this guy? What makes you think the same will happen to you? Devil is a lie. You can't mix the vision for the M's with the fish in the ocean. Mix them up, you be drowning in emotions. This is the dark part of the poem. At night times you speaking and my confidence was peaking. Never left me alone and she emotionally deepened. But I'd be going deeper, we eventually sleeping in the same bed. I noticed that I'm missing calls from my friends and messages about where the music at, bro. We support you, but so distracted the first time I'm in the passion fruit. The same guys who told me that she ain't the one, I take a bullet for her when my friends are moving as the gun. So I see a private message saying that I'm wanted. I smirked it off and kept it moving. I ain't running. I called a friend I haven't heard from to say what's new. He told me something that I really hope was not the truth. Hit her up to find out if it's serious, like an unfinished sentence. I hear you missed your period. Why am I stressing over what could be a blessing? Did I learn my lesson? Growing too quick into adolescence. She told me link her in the house, so as I'm by the door, I hear a voice behind me saying, did you hear that the hood don't love you? I said, who are you? He said, that's mine, and that don't belong to you. Should I be egotistic? My man is telling me to say aloud that your chick, my mouth is saying, really is it? In my mind I'm thinking, will I be the next statistic? Either I be dead or pulled up, I'll be in prison. Either I be dead or be in prison.
You got this.
I stood my ground outside, I'm trying to look tough, but deep inside I'm panicking, am I about to get rushed? Should I follow in my guts or see my guts in my glass? Cause how can I believe in love when it be hard to build trust? And so I see it, so then I see him standing, so then I turn around, see him standing with two man. What happened next? I'ma leave that for part 2. And this story is true. Love hurts, but lust is painless. You give your heart, then one day you're strangers. When I thought it's time to be the man to face my fears, don't run. I was blinded by the physical, not evil they become. I should have listened to my friends when they said she want the one. I took a bullet for her, just to realize she was the gun.
This is one of my poems. It's called Rainfall of Me. I wanted to listen to the rain, the one sound of so many drops falling. I do not know the name of the rain. My tongue does not know how to rain. I heard the wind, I heard the waters, I heard the leaves, I heard the touch of drop and leaf, the silence of leaf and drop, the almost nothing. I heard the water running down the roof, the dirt splashing with the water, atom of rain. Inside me, it rains, weeps, it tingles and trickles. I want to hear the rain inside me, to listen to the listening, listen to the ear listening, to listen to the waves of listening, to listen within, to listen to the breath, blood and bone, listen to the life and death of the organic body. It rains in some places, others are arid, desert of me. I do not know how not to hear. I can't close my eyes the way I close my ears. I can't close my ears the way I close my eyes. So how to listen? Listen close. Listen under. Listen to the darkness of silence. Listen to the ripple. Listen to the rain. Listen to it raining. Chanting of waters. Shiver of life. Swear word of the world. If I listen to the leaf, I can't hear the waters. If I listen to the waters, I can't hear the drop. If I don't hear the drop, I can't listen to the rain. If I listen to the noise, I can't listen to the silence that reigns deep inside. Rain root, rain source, rain seed, rain shadow. What is rain? Conglomerate of waters, conglomerate of falls, conjugation of water. Thank you.
In this life of fairy tales, hard times, and cartoons, how does one become a star when you were cursed from the womb? In a jungle full of tombs and tales of wild criminals and family dysfunction as destructive as war chemicals. Escaping seems mystical when powers that be prefer brothers in prison, not wealthy, strong, and free. A direct path to success seems hard to see, and you can feel like an idiot during your odyssey. Surrounded by treachery, tragedy, and defeat, your neighbors plotting to rob you of the shoes on your feet. Living with crooks, it's hard not to become a thief. When pressures of life push you toward insanity, when fear grips humanity, something usually breaks. Either your spirit or your mind frame becomes great. And you can overcome the fate of those shotters on curbs, ditch the highs for nerves, become a king with words. See, I was born broke, but refused to die poor. I may never be in lights, but I master the art of war. Though some predicted that royalty wasn't in my genes, when I write, I'm reborn as a king. Pimping or poetry is the decision that we face with. I chose the latter, knowing I was born for greatness.
Yes.
Feeling alien as spaceships in this digital age where a rapper can go platinum while his body's in a grave. I may become a martyr and leave earth prematurely, knowing my traits are hard to find in the majority. Ah, man. Pimping or poetry is the decision that we face with. I chose the latter knowing I was born for greatness. Feeling alien as spaceships in this digital age where a rapper can go platinum while his body's in the grave. See, I may become an martyr and leave earth prematurely, knowing my traits are hard to find in the majority. What I represent orally is majestic in nature, based more on character and less on flavor. I've seen my people get paper, thinking it improves them lyrically, but don't master the craft exhibiting nobility. I'm gonna have to let y'all rewind that. See, I was born broke, but I refuse to die poor. I may never be in lights, but I mastered the art of war. Though some predicted that royalty wasn't in my genes, when I write, I'm reborn as a king. There's death on every corner from Brixton to California. Young cats search for structure in this life. This wasn't what I was supposed to do tonight. Let me work with it. There's death on every corner from Brixton to California. Young cats search for structure, the life that's out of order. These hard rocks need water in these times of drought, and words have no borders. When they're spoken from the mouth, they can change the route of every ear that hears, resurrect hearts and minds that have died in fear, rebuild a ruined country that's been flooded by tears. Dr. King had a dream of a check that would clear and balance the books of the oppressed in arrears. There's nothing like a man who knows his tongue is a spear, a warhead that can crush a nation while the world looks at him like he's nuts with statements. Money don't make you courageous, hearts change history, connecting missing clues to the unsolved mysteries. My life has seen more hurdles than Linford Christie. I plan to rewrite it with more imagination than Disney. See, I was born broke, but I refuse to die poor. I may never be in lights, but I mastered the art of war. Though some predicted that royalty was not in my genes, when I write, I'm reborn as a king. Thank you.
Intimacy. Intimacy. Into me, he sees. All of me. Even the parts that are hard to believe. The ugly parts of me that I try desperately not to let him see. Yet his eyes bore through me and all is revealed. Open wounds exposing the scars that I thought I had healed. He touches me and I melt inside, assuring me he has nothing to hide. He is mine. But the funny thing about time is that it can lead you blind to things that are visible, things that are not visible within the mind. Right now, in this moment, it feels like nothing can come between us, except secrecy. The ultimate destroyer of intimacy, the master manipulator. Can there be anything greater? Yes. Let me introduce you to its creator, lies. Secrets and lies to me are two equal words that can often cause a divide. Or maybe one causes the other to multiply. Which order they go in can't be defined. Fact is, they're both intertwined. That invisible thread, a line that ties secrets to lies or lies to secrets, which order they go in, doesn't matter. Either way, you try your best to keep it together before they unravel. Your secrets lie on a bed of deceit, covered by the sheets of mistrust, but the pillow you are comforted by is none other than love. I am not your past, so let me gift you with my present. Look at me. Really, look at me. Did you see me? Did you open me up just to watch me bleed? Because I didn't open up just to watch you leave. All I wanted from you was intimacy. Not the sexual kind, the kind that penetrates your mind.
But what good is the mind if it's incapable of trust? You want me to bear all to you, but disbelieve the naked truth. I am loyal to you, committed to you, bare to you. But now I'm uncertain of you. So what do I do?
I want to ask a question. Why do we get hurt? Like, you know when there's a person that we're, a bit kind of into, but they're not ours. And then when they tell us about someone else, we get like, you know that feeling when like sinking feeling? Huh? Yeah, like they're not yours, but you have no right to be feeling like that. But yeah, anyway, boom. So, thank you. Yeah, this is the thing with the same. Okay, no, let me not get too into it. But basically, I wrote this song and I got over it. This was months ago. I got over it. Cool, whatever. Boom, got over it. That happened again last night with the same girl. But yo, we're not even together, innit? The same girl. It hurts, innit? It hurts. The thing is, I don't even know it's a guy, but she just said I met someone new, and I'm like, fuck, alright, fuck it then. But anyway, boom, so anyway, it's the song. I'm gonna do it a cappella. Yeah.
You got this though. Cheese.
Let's go. Today I woke up, something wasn't feeling right. I don't know where to start. Hold up, let me think twice. I don't know what it is, what it might be. Meanwhile, I'm trying to remember, I'm looking for the right type beat to write something to I have left in my psyche. I can't lie, I'm beginning to think it's likely. Stability was never meant for me. Shattered up and broken piece. Every time he's spoken about you and him, feels like a dream. When I woke up, there was something different it seemed. My whole body weighing on hurt heavy. Could it have been the events of last night? We talked about you and him going out for the first time. Shit, man, it might have been. Can't help but think I may never get another chance again. Shit, man, it probably wasn't. It's crazy to think what happened when you told me, cause I didn't know. I didn't know what to think. Felt something inside of me sink. Literally thought your love you had for me was running thin. Now if I could cry, so I would be crying over you. But these days they don't feel like I can do that. So I'm emotional. And it's mad because nothing really seems to hurt. More so just going back to square one. Is this a blessing or is it more a curse? I don't know if I learn or if there's even a lesson to be reserved. Let me reverse the word. Cause I know I like to stay reserved. I'll admit, I'm struggling to put me first. I'll admit, nothing seems to work either. Suffocating on my own breath, just wanna catch a breather. Now that time was past. I'll say with open arms, it feels like on your list I'm lost. And that wouldn't really be too harsh. But lately it's hard. What happened to you being my dog? Now swear, if I could cry, if these tears could roll from these eyes, if I could truly catch my breath when I sigh, breathe a sigh of relief and feel revived, if I could look in your face and not lie, like when I told you I didn't cry last night, if you could see life through these very eyes, then perhaps you'd understand a little better why. Sometimes it's just hard to try, and some days, yes, I wanna die. But I ain't trying to commit suicide, I'm just saying that if I was to die, I'd have no reason to scream at the sky. I'd have no reason to scream at this guy. I'd have no reason to scream at this girl. I'd have no reason to scream at anyone. I don't want to have kids to bring them up in such a cruel world. So tell me, what does a man do? What does a man pick? How does a man choose? It seems like whatever I decide, I win and I lose. My spirit is tired and I need something to soothe. My heart is sore, I can never be sure. I cry to the Lord. I don't want to play this game of always searching for more. Yo. I don't want to play this game of always on a run chasing for more. Thank you.
I am ablaze and blasé. Some days I feel things so deeply that I'm grateful for the days that I am numb. They give me some room, some respite from all that is brewing inside of me, all that is stewing inside of me, turning me inside out, fueling flames that sit beneath the surface of my skin. You see, I'm fire inside. Fulfilled in my fullness, feeling feelings in all of their colors, forgiving but never forgetting, introspective, infinitely inclined to internal interpretation irrespective of you, reflective, reflecting on the reinterpretation of the projections you rain down on me, exempt from your acceptance, exemplifying existence in sweet, serene solitude. I will say it again, I am fire inside. Voltage pulses through my veins, it's just how I am hardwired inside, going through all of the motions, but real talk, I'm just so tired inside. So I'm thankful. Some days I inhale deeply and oxygen fills my body, dousing me like all 7 oceans, right down into the depths of me. No smoke is on the breath of me, I can't feel you enough to react.
You won't get no hype from me, no gas. See, I can't rise to your occasion. No tactics or persuasion can force me into conversations that I don't want to have. Your rhetoric, it won't engage me. Your opinions, they don't faze me. And it's not out of disrespect, I swear. I'm not trying to eject myself from the norms of conformed, premeditated, performed ideal of who I'm supposed to be. I'm just trying to get you to see, to understand why although you may approach me seeking warmth, the heat in my bones gets trapped in my pores. I can't offer you my embers. They won't travel beyond the stratosphere of my own making that surrounds my being to either keep you out or keep me in. I don't know which way that penny drops, but I've gathered a few for my thoughts. And the wishing well just spits them back out again, metal clinking, my wishes sinking right back into me, and at this brink, where I dance between ablaze and blasé, where I navigate which parts of me I allow to participate in you, in us, in we, in them, or just all the way back. Just me and my pen, inking conversations that begin and end with me, bouncing off my own four walls, and at this edge where I stand between ablaze and blasé, I remember that I am the mother of dragons. I will teach them to breathe fire when they need to, but take flight when the fight is a myth. I remember my own mama's words that no man is an island, people can't be alone without being lonely, but mama, I'm a volcano. My blood runs lava hot, steaming under my smouldering surface, but I will remain forever dormant before I put on a show. To satisfy a crowd that will only remember the devastation born from my eruption. Although, that's what volcanoes do, no? They spit fire and flames, they bring heat and rage, but I'm not about to open up. Display the inner workings, the inner circle of the pupil of my iridescent inner eyes, the eyes I dream from, clear like the moon in a cloudless sky. No, mama, I'm not about to open up for them to tell me simmer down. So I stay right here in between ablaze and blasé. Thank you.
How's everyone feeling? Right, my name is Rayon, otherwise known as RVJ, and I'm here to give you a bit of wordplay tonight. Is that alright? So the first one I'm going to do tonight is called The Jamaican. I like that. I like that. The Jamaican. I'm from a place where culturally, a gun in the hand is more celebrated than a man with a plan. A place where a man is laughed at and called a one burner for being loyal to one woman. I'm from a place where being emotionally vocal as a male is seen as soft and weak, and that cry for help doesn't get its true recognition. A place where your environment can negatively influence your dreams and directly limit their realization. I'm from a place where there's a false sense of security created by so-called area dons. A place where the normalization of death has become a permanent fixture in our psyche. So most times, to most of us, just another day where we're from. I am from a place where there's a good chance that ammunition outnumber the local population 3-1. I'm from a place 90 miles south of Cuba, 118 miles west of Haiti. A small island called Jamaica. Yes, I am Jamaican. Born in Spanish Town Hospital, bred in the parish of St. Catherine, which was once the nation's capital. I am from a place where the people aren't perfect and they struggle daily against a socially corrupt institution. A place where classism still divides us and hinders the economic growth of a truly little but tallow super nation. I am from a place where the mangoes are sweet, the rivers run deep, and jerk chicken is the real MVP from Northern Point in St. Thomas to South Liverpool Point in Westmoreland. A place that offers up such beautiful treats you can live there all year round and still stay there for your vacation. I am from a place that the things that we do and the way that we do it oftentimes makes us the envy of a few other nations. A place where the spirit of my people can overcome anything, true resilience, no matter the situation. I am from a place where the highest point is on Blue Mountain, peaking at 2,256 meters, overlooking everyone, real icon. I attended St. Catherine Basic, St. Catherine Primary, and St. Catherine High School. That means from a very tender age, I've been a loyal one. You see, the picture that sometimes portrayed of us, and the picture we sometimes portray of ourselves, isn't pleasing to look on, but I've accepted that as a part of life's journey. You can't control who has the paintbrush. You can only enjoy maneuvering that paintbrush when it's in the control of your own hands. Jamaica, I love you. And to my fellow Jamaicans, that love is extended 1,000,000 times over because together we are strong.
when I overhear someone speaking patois, it warms my heart. I want to join in the conversation. Now you notice I said speak patois, not the other one, so please, for those of you who do it, I'm asking us to speak Jamaican. I'm always missing home, so in my mind I'm always on vacation. So if you see me drifting off, please don't be offended. It's nothing that you've done. It's just that I'm by a nice river with a beautiful waterfall, enjoying the magical greenery of my little island. I am from a place where the motto embodies what it means to be Jamaican. Out of many, one people. Words which weave together different cultures to strengthen the fabric of our nation. Wherever we go, whatever we do, the spirit of my people unites everyone. So I'm forever proud to bleed the black, green and gold, representing what it means to be Jamaican. Alright, so that's a small introduction of me, you know. So yeah, Ryan, the Jamaican. So I represent, I love home, innit? And I'm here in London, England, you know, trying to make it. I'm still here after coming here at 17, so yeah, I think I'm doing something good, so yeah. So the next poem is funny because I've heard a few male counterparts come up here tonight and make reference to cry or crying. And that's the name of my next poem, Cry. It's just my interpretation, idea of that whole emotion or act condensed in a poem. Obviously we can talk about it for this because we know society looks at a male and actually crying. So this one is called Cry. I'm going to go straight into it. Cry. But why? Why cry when everything that I've been taught to be as a man was a lie? Well, maybe that's a good enough reason to let these waterworks drain and these wells run dry. Said if he wasn't a man, then tears would be running from his eyes. But why? Why is it such a taboo to express natural feelings towards certain emotional events in our lives? Why? The capacity to cry. But you're a man and they say it makes you less of a man if you cry. Well, there goes another lie. The feelings you feel are feelings that are real. Real feelings manifest when you cry. You're just confused with the years of lies that have been feeding into these lies over years about cry. But I'm a man and big man don't cry. That's just the motto we live by, that's the law we die by. That's just the way it is and has always been, and we dare not ever question why. We just know that for as long as we're alive, we better not ever let them see us cry. Okay. So, how about when my daughters took their first breath? Was that a good enough time or reason to cry? Or expressing grief at a loved one giving up their last breath? Is that good enough to not be ridiculed and told men aren't supposed to cry? Or maybe when I've given everything that I can give and still expected to give a little bit more. No support system to re-energize you. No small respite to gather myself up off the floor. Feeling overwhelmed by always having everyone else's back while my back is fully exposed to the door. Blocking out life's cold coming through that door. You see, social constructs and normalized opinions deny us the ability to effectively socialize. Our eyes are wide open, but there's nothing of substance coming from the deep darkness that's inside. So we ensure that the only thing that we give away from these eyes are stares. Meanwhile, the water wells that reside in the back of our eyes are wells overflowing with buckets to spare. As babies, we strengthen our lungs, we're encouraged to cry. As little boys and young men, we reinforce the taboo that has been continuously feeding us these lies. Not to mention adult men, we hide away in our cars, the bathroom. We do selfish things to others just to prevent ourselves from shedding a tear or two. Why? Because in our eyes, it's better to see them cry than having to deal with the feelings that our tears will produce. Maybe I'm just overthinking this, looking for reasons to say that as men we struggle too. Maybe it's just something that's been normalized by my culture. What say you? Maybe I don't know, maybe I just don't have a clue. However, your inability to flex your emotional muscle will eventually paralyze you. Your numb, cold persona, frostbiting the fingers of people reaching out to help you, eventually pushing them away from you. Your emotional memory, forgetting that you have a soft side, eventually hardening that soft side of you. Find a quiet place, shed a quiet tear, for as long as it pleases you, because most of us already do. See, we tend to think that the only way to cry are with tears, but if only you could see your actions screaming in everyone else's face. Not to mention your voice whispering, please help me, in between those angry fears. Believe me when I say, if you cry, you won't let me see you any less than society already perceive you. I, for one, will never look down on you. That's something that's a natural part of you. Especially in this society where most of its expectations aren't realistically possible. Rise up, kings, and with your emotional selves, be bold. Understand that your expression of self is yours to be proud of, regardless of what you've been previously told. Cry. Like I said, that one is a conversation starter as far as I'm concerned, because there are a lot of ideas and thought processes around this, but I just feel life experience has taught me that expression of self is you being true to yourself. Well, a lot of times we tend to think about what the person or external may think of us, yeah, and then we get it wrong. And also when we keep things bottled up, they normally manifest themselves in a way that you look back and thought, shh, if only I had. So yeah, that's Cry. So the next one is Untitled. The next one is it's a new method of writing for me. It's the first time I'm doing this. So let's get it.
Let's get it. Go. You got this, bro.
Some people will stand by the idea of accountability and they'll put money on it. But that's only if their accounts have the ability to pay someone else to take responsibility for it. Come on. Alright. Some people will stand by the idea of accountability and they'll put money on it. But that's only if their accounts have the ability to pay someone else to take responsibility for it. Isn't it funny how people will support you and your abilities, doing the most to endorse it? When you really think about it, they're only doing it because they think there's something for them to get out of it. You see, I'm the first to say that life will distress you, but I'll also say, please don't get comfortable with it, because the stress you experience is abstract. You can't see it, you can't touch it, yet we walk around with it daily, holding on to it dearly like a survival kit. Instead, why don't we find an outlet to de-stress? Something with a positive outlook and make a habit of it, because when you start valuing yourself, your network is revealed to you, and the things you do, you'll start taking credit for it. People will acknowledge this and literally pay you to benefit from your service. But be careful of the ones who will see this as nothing but an opportunity to take advantage of it. Blind to the grind that you've heavily invested in. Deaf to the offer of you teaching them how to swim. Instead, they'll see nothing but you being content with absolute peace of mind and do everything in their power to try and disrupt it. But it's okay. Your peace provokes their demons, drawing them out. Like I said, it's okay. They should be grateful. You are a modern day exorcist. You see, I grew up around role models, real life superheroes. My admiration for them was pretty dramatic. Now as an adult, I realized that being a superhero is much harder than you think. Their superpower was being human. Their smile, their mask, and behind that mask they hid the identities of the battles that they were struggling with. But it takes a village to raise a child, right? A community effort collectively helping them to make it. Yet our communities are so divided by social politics, I can no longer tell the difference between our core values and a bag of party tricks. Because people be fronting big time. Peacock syndrome, pulling the wool over a few eyes and flooding our timelines. But please understand that all this parading is temporary compared to an eternity of regretting and making time for the simpler things in life. Like these juveniles I see running around in circles just to move a couple lines. Naive to what it really means to be back in heat somewhere around the waistline. What do you know about a thin piece of galvanized zinc separating you and the up? Hold your nerve, brother, because one small sound can determine whether you live to speak about it or whether you get dropped. Or have you ever seen a car roll up outside of a shop? Windows start to crack. Man, them inside start waving, but it's not with the ancestors that you are thinking of. It's something more sinister coming out of the dark. The iron sending goodbye messages, sealed with a flashing spark. Pink-tipped RIPs extracting chunks of flesh on impact. Tattoo artists of a different kind, inking body parts. Now your skin is breathable like a mesh merino, But this representation of style isn't for the arts. The reaper sent to harvest more promising souls, and they are happy with the numbers, because this is a lifestyle that we're happy to endorse, literally killing our brothers. Look, I'm not here to dampen the mood or cast a cloud over those in our communities who are doing us proud. But if we're honest with ourselves and check the records, as teenagers, we've been handed down the ability to pattern our people and do it with a cold heart. And now as adults, this pattern and style we give to today's youth, as if to say the streets are the only way to leave our mark. Hence the cold suicidal cycle repeats itself, going round like a revolving door. But I'm praying that one day the hinges will fall off. I'm praying that one day the hinges will fall off. They say 2 wrongs don't make a right. But that's just a case of cause and effect. How can the wrong cause create the right effect without leaving behind a devastating after effect? Especially when everything that is being done is contributing to the negative ripple effect. Starting the race way behind the curve, facing obstacles, taking what feels like a million evasive steps just to level the playing field. Now I'm at the start line where I was initially meant to be. And even though I find my way in a favorable position in the home stretch, you move the finish line to alter an inevitable upset. Because you fear our abilities to overcome the cause and rewrite the effect. Simply because you know that our drive and determination is something you'll never be able to put in chains again. And for these characteristics, you have nothing but respect. You see, we won't fully impact this reality, the one that we're fighting to change, until we respect our home and our inability to clean up our own space. Come on, how can you go to someone's place and tell them how to run it? When deep down in your own habitat, there are things that are mentally keeping you enslaved. You don't go to someone's house and tell them how to run it, and if you do, it will be a very short visit. Some say this isn't their home, but they will move mountains to contribute in any national debate. All I'm saying is, if one or both of your parents weren't born here, but you were born here, ensure that when you speak on the things that affect your home, your voice permanently resonates. Yes, the fence have 2 sides, but understand that on both sides is where you sit, because you're a representation of dual culture, and you should be proud of it. Don't allow the insecurities and hate of other people to allow you to step away from it, because that's just them playing mind games, and we have to show them that psychologically, we know their trick. Some will get that, some won't, but it's okay. It's a conversation I'll leave until we're truly ready to address it. RVJ. Right, so that was a serious one, right? And I'm going to end with one. So my writing started with love, or centered around the topic of love. Not love based on heartbreak, but love based on expression. I always, when I was younger, I always crave conversation even more. So after not being in the same space with the person, I always think to myself, right, what can I say next time? What did I not say? How can I say it better? So, you know, being expressive. So I started writing with love, and tonight I'm going to end with love.
Come on, come on.
This one is called 5 Minutes. And it speaks for itself. I hope you enjoy it.
Okay. Alright, saucy. Naughty.
5 minutes is all I need. Can I see you for just 5 minutes, please? To refresh my memory bank of your pleasant appearance. To upload the unique detail of your current presentation. It's all about face for the first minute. As I remind myself as much as I can using the beauty of your outlines and contours. See, it is the image of this beauty that allows me to escape reality time and time again in the presence of your absence. 5 minutes is all I need. Can I see you for just 5 minutes, please? Second minute. To feel the texture of your skin pressing against mine. It's like we're both physically active while everything around us is static or coming together at somehow manipulated time. The rhythm of your inhale, exhale, chest pressed against me, intimately dancing together with mine. Feeling your body lift slightly as the squeeze reassures me that you needed this just as much as I did.
Oh yeah.
Arms wrapped tightly around your body to say I'll never let you go. The warmth of your embrace pulling me in as your body begins to glow. lips softly whispering in your ears, I never want this feeling to go. 5 minutes is all I need. Can I see you for just 5 minutes, please?
Yes.
Third minute. I'm all about expressing just how much I've missed you. My mind, body, and soul contributes to reaching out to your heart. Encouraging it to open up so I can inject it with nothing but pure, unrehearsed feelings of adoration. See, I can be nothing but honest with you, even though at times I try not to. I give you my all in this minute, while I secretly pray that time will stop allowing me more time to perfectly express my feelings for you. Because there's no getting enough of the sweetness that you have to offer. I'm in love with your sugar rush. So as we're jammed for time, let us come together like dough and watch our love go nuts. Krispy Kremes ain't got nothing on us. Rewind, yeah? Where am I going? Right.
Press the time.
Alright. So, I give you my all in this minute, as I pray that time will stop allowing me more time to perfectly express my feelings for you. I can't get enough of the sweetness that you have to offer. I'm in love with your sugar rush. So as we are pressed for time, as we're jammed for time, let us come together like dough and watch our love go nuts. Krispy Kremes ain't got nothing on us. 5 minutes is all I need. Can I see you for just 5 minutes, please?
Yes!
4 minutes. Arranging the next time we will meet, because I want to relive this encounter again. Possibly increasing it to 6 minutes, because spending an additional 60 seconds in your company would be time well spent. Of all the time investments that I've previously committed to, this is the purest, with abundance, with returns so abundant they must be heaven sent. Eagerly setting date, because I know our rendezvous are magical moments that I appreciate. And with that being said, it most likely won't happen that way, but more like a spontaneous urge to soak you up and take you in. Simply giving you a ring, just to let you know that I'm coming. 5 minutes is all I need. Can I see you for just 5 minutes, please? Fifth and final minute. It's the hardest, most difficult thing that I've ever had to do. Walking away from your presence, unwillingly abandoning you. A somber reminder that 5 minutes is never enough time with you. But when I'm alone with your absence, the memories help me through. One of my biggest fears is not being able to spend at least a minute with you. But does she even care enough to want me, need me as much as I do? Nevertheless, I'm filled with joy because the time I spent with you was valuable. How meaningful and worthwhile time can be when I'm spending it with you. When all is said and done, time will always catch up with you. You're a timeless masterpiece, a beautiful creation. And my time with you has me stuck in a loop. 5 minutes was all I needed. And believe it or not, I used those 5 minutes to fully appreciate you. 5 minutes.
Dear football fans, and for the attention of the Football Federation, my name is Jade Granil and I want us to get all football crazy like everybody else. But I need your help, because I'm really confused about the culture. As you know, the year is 2021 and the Euros 2020 has just taken place. To be honest, I forgot about the delay in the tournament. I genuinely thought it was a mistake. So we're a year ahead and at the same time decades behind. Because only when your team is winning, you seem to be colourblind. For sure, it's a beautiful thing to see everyone of all races in unity, but it's short-lived. Because miraculously, like a hat trick, it's magic and suddenly racists have 20/20 vision when their team is losing, punching everyone of colour, giving them a bruising, including their own misses. I pray England never misses. Because domestic violence in this country increases by 38% if they lose. Shit, we just lost. I'm so sorry for the lives lost. Mindless stabbing because you middle-aged men who can't get it up couldn't take a loss. Attacking the talented 19-year-old Bukayo Saka and beating up anyone that looks like him you come across. Shouting and typing out racist remarks, vandalizing Marcus Rashford's tribute to show all immigrants who is boss. Forgetting he raised £200 million to feed your kids when your Tory government refused it, but you no longer give a toss. Jaden Sancho continues to help out local communities by building football pitches in poor suburban areas, but at what cost? And yeah, Raheem Sterling gets bare sterling. I mean, we all know that they do. And I'm including him in because he's also a melanated king, for sure. Oh, he's also a melanated king who got us through the group stages into the finals while setting up a charity to provide scholarships for underprivileged kids so they could also win. Doesn't matter, because regardless if these kings contributed to our country or not, no one deserves to be racially attacked and abused. I realise now that there will always be a penalty for having melanin, whether we win or lose. I know it's a cruel world out there, but if the top eye of football would lead by example and talk publicly about this one matter before it all gets messy, maybe we might pay attention and listen. But England fans, I hope you enjoy catching a tan outside, sitting in your garden and eating that delicious Italian pizza whilst watching the game. Now do you see the hypocrisy? England, we lost. England, we are lost. P.S. Dear Three Lions, aka Melanated Kings, thank you for what you've done for our country and for our community. In my eyes, this is how I see you all. In the Euros, you rose. You heroes. Peace, love and unity. Love, Jay.
Hey, this is the first time I've been on stage since just before lockdown. A fellow poet basically challenged me to think about all of the major milestones that happened in my life, and then to imagine what would have happened if none of them had ever happened, and then write a poem about that. So this poem is my own personal nightmare, and it's called Iteration. Number 1, swipe left, not right. Digital sliding doors, more gaslighting. Nice 6-hour walks along the Thames. Number 2, queued for a gig. King's Cross cold sinks to my bones. 1 in, 1 out policy, fuck that, I'm off. No night bus ride home, no urban griots. Cruising on autopilot, mediocrity, the theme music. Turn it up to 11. Number 3, I paced back and forth outside a hospital, 6 months early. No calendar entry reading miscarriage. Sexless marriage ensues. No recreation. Undiagnosed dopamine dips keep my head below water. A journeyman who drowned in his own lack of purpose. Number 4, cast out. Car boot full of books and clothes. 2 months backyard hiatus in Luton. Viewings in Brixton followed. Fuck you, gentrification. SW9 morphs into SW16. So much promise. However, leap of faith stalled. Opt to retreat close to English roses. Spirit slowly fades. Moleskin notepads never fill themselves. Music production centre gathers dust. Logic remains unopened. I craft a sarcophagus for my dreams. Don't wake me up, please. Thank you.
This piece I wrote for a friend of mine who went through some mental health problems, got to the other side of it, launched his own boxing company, and then performed it on a show called Life and Rhymes, which actually won a BAFTA recently. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. This piece is called Man Down. I was always in the corner but never in the ring. But now this is my call in mental health, I'm answering, I'm in. Now you got me on the line, but never had me on the ropes. It's an uphill battle and I'm coping with the slopes. Taking more steps, making progress, I'm focused. I'm training all the time from being so stressed, emotions just playing on my mind. I don't think that I'm depressed, but I know that I'm not happy. Just because I'm smiling on the outside doesn't mean inside that I'm not angry. Because I am. And I do feel down. Sometimes I just want to scream and say it out loud. But you know what it's like? That's not allowed. You're a man, be proud. They'll be telling you man up. Until they're screaming man down. Saying, why didn't he speak up? Because you put the man down. Man down, man down, man down. Suicide is on the rise and they're surprised by the figures. Well, numbers don't lie like the smiles in your pictures. You've been soul searching till you're itching all the blisters. Put a filter on your feelings, hear them screaming in the distance. Man down, man down, man down. Have you ever been down in the depths of a dark place? Where the silence is so loud you can hear your heart race. It's like you're in a car chase but the lights are on red. You partake in heartache, text sent left on red. Going from missed out, to missed calls, to missing, to I missed them. You can't put a filter on your feelings, hear them screaming in the distance. Man down, man down, man down. Now I'm trying, I'm training, I'm taking my time and I'm testing my brain and my body. I'm aiming for heights from the lows and I'm focused on goals and my growth. So let's grow and we'll learn and we'll turn it around. Hear the sound of a smile in my voice. When I'm speaking for a while I was down but never out, and now I'm proud of how I'm feeling. And now I'm breathing. This is more than boxing. This is more than sport. This is the fight against our mental health, and this is fighting talk. It's not always about the KO, it's about being okay. Sometimes you have to say no, we know it's gonna be okay. Speak to your friends. Trust me, it helps. It's not a bad thing to talk about how you felt. Fighting mental health, let's take our first steps. It's not about how many times you knock a man down, but all the times he gets up and prepares for what's next. Thank you very much.